Alrighty, going live now with Vintage POX. So usually I don't go live early, but this time a little more to talk about since Vintage is not exactly my forte. I've been learning a lot, been doing a lot since I've been covering VSL. Vintage Ship Leagues this season has been incredible. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to go on Twitch, check it out every Tuesday. We're now in the playoffs, so that's exciting. So this is the deck that I've been running for years and years in Legacy. Never particularly seen a take of it in Vintage. I've heard some people discuss it. I've heard some people try out some things. But I really wanted to kind of dip my toes in Vintage a bit more. And my friend always likes when I brew. My friend's a big fan of Vintage. He plays mostly Oath, but he's always trying to get me to do new things in Vintage because he likes a lot of the brews I come up with. Been playing around with Stifle Knot in Vintage. Been playing with now I'm playing with POX. But I've been trying a lot of different things in Vintage, and figured POX is a deck that I have a lot of experience with. It's a deck that I thoroughly enjoy. In Legacy, I kind of dropped it because I was running Sensei's Divining Top to help with a lot of the issues you have with variants and whatnot. So Sensei's Divining Top can help kind of smooth out your draws a bit. We don't have really any shuffle. We don't have any shuffle effects like fetch lands and whatnot. We do have Vampiric Tutor and Demonic Tutor, so Top can kind of help with that a bit. In Legacy, I was running a few fetch lands because I'm usually on like black-white in Legacy when I do run it. I think the white just adds a lot between Swords, Plowshares, Vindicate, good sideboard hate. Like you can run in Light and Tutor if you want, for like a Circle Protection red, things of that nature. In Vintage, I think just because of the way the cards you have available, like Necropotence, Yogg-Will, Demonic Tutor, Vampire Tutor, I think it's better just to stick with Mono Black. The way the deck is designed, I've actually gone with the rack as one of my main win conditions. There's a couple Mistress Factories, then obviously your opponent can potentially scoop. Once you get like a Liliana Veil in play, like a Underworld Dreams, Chains, whatever, you keep your opponent with like almost no cards in hands. And one of the big things in Vintage is everyone's trying to draw cards. You got Paradox of Outcome, which Paradox of Outcome's a deck where they might not do anything for like, there's a turn where they're not going to do anything except for draw like 20 cards, and Underworld Dreams and Chains help keep that in check and actually turn that into a win condition on my own. Granted, I do have to resolve these spells. We have a lot of discard to help us get there. So my first 5 matches testing were in the tournament practice room. They went okay. I 10-0 in games, 5-0 in matches, which, it's not perfect, but it's because it's the tournament practice room. Then I tried a league. It was only 1-4. Crushed Dredge, which was awesome. Game ones are miserable, obviously, but sideboard we have some good pieces of hate in black and whatnot. So let's talk about the construction of the deck. So Pox, you're very black mana hungry. So you get your 4 Orborgs here. Me, I'm going with, I believe it's 9 Swamps currently. I have a 1 Strip Mine to kind of complement the 4 Wastelands. 2 Mistress Factories is a win condition. Can also be like a random blocker to defend a bit. Tabernacle, Pendrel Veil. Tabernacle is something I'm kind of toying around with. I haven't really gotten much experience against shops, but Tabernacle seems like a decent option to keep the shops matchup kind of in check. Mostly because between my Wastelands, if I get Crucible in play, mostly between my Wastelands, my Strip Mines, Tabernacle, I can really tax their mana. It's a little tough if they get strong artifact mana hands. So like recently I played test against shops, and their start was like Workshops, Lotus, 3 Moxen into like it was like Ballista, Ravager, Steel Overseer, some crap. Like it was a ridiculously good starting open hand. I died on turn 2. So there's gonna be games like that against shops where there's just not much you can do about it. There's gonna be some games where like they start jamming spheres and stuff, and the mana gets a little tough once they start strip mining and wastelanding. But overall, the shops matchup is one I haven't had much experience with. But I think between the Tabernacle, the 5 Wasteland effects, the Crucible, and then my hand disruption, I should be okay to kind of handle it. Postboard, I also have a couple Mill Rods and whatnot, so that should help a lot. Tox Deluge, postboard, and then a couple of Phyrexian Obliterators. We'll get to that, though. So we're going a little crazy with this build. Like I said, Phyrexian Obliterator out of the sideboard, not something you expect to see in Vintage, not something that's probably good in Vintage, but it's something I want to test, because again, shops, the way I figure it is they could possibly... Infernal Reckonings. God, I wish I was more familiar with Vintage. What is Infernal Reckonings? Let's see here real quick. Exile Tire. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, I like that. That could definitely be a couple of sideboard easily. Should be really good. I'll have to test that out. Actually, I haven't even really started this league, so I could go pick those up now. Which I actually think I might. Yeah, no, definitely. Let's do this real quick. I saw, was it Seth Manfield in VSL had a couple of Infernal Reckonings in the sideboard? I think it was like 3 or something like that. And I wasn't familiar with any other decks. I haven't really been paying close attention to what's going on up there, so I'll have to take a closer peek. Let's get a couple Infernal Reckonings. We'll drop from this league before we actually play a match. Ah. Thank you very much for that. What we got here? Oh my god, and they like 0.04 ticks. Yeah, I'll just get 4. Screw it. I'm not gonna run 4, but might as well just pick up 4. Yeah, you know, I actually saw Infernal Reckoning because I've been publishing the decklist articles and whatnot. So, how do I drop if I'm in this screen? I guess I have to exit out probably and go back in. There it is. Okay, let's drop. Let's fix that. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to try that out. My 12 ticks back. Collection. What the cut is going to be the big thing. So Deluge is probably a card I don't particularly need. Obliterator, I can probably... Yeah. I want to test Obliterator, so we're going to try it out. I'll trim a Yixlid Jailer, though. Let's see, we're going to add 2. If I can find this damn card. Problem with having commander decks in your inventory is you have so many random cards you just don't need. So yeah, we'll try that out then. Thank you very much again. Yeah, the shops matchup can be tough. So I found that so a couple of matches I've tested decent amount against, like Paradox of Outcome, Xerox, and whatnot. The Xerox decks that have like Dak Fade and whatnot, surprisingly enough, have been really, really good. That's where most of my wins have come from. Between Chains of Mephistopheles, Underworld Dreams, and whatnot, those are enchantments that if they can't counter them on the stack, they generally can't interact with them. So those are cards that really nerf their strategy. I mean, you kill their first creature, your Chains and Underworld Dreams just shut down the cantrips and stuff and turn into, you know, win conditions on their own, especially once you get a rack and play. So Xerox has been good. Dredge postboard has been amazing. I got like, you know, 2 or 3 Grafdigger's Cage, 4 Leyline, a Yixlid Jailer. So that's been very good. I also can interact with their bazaars real early and easy with like Wastelands, Strip Mines. So I've actually found Dredge to be decent and not too worried about that matchup at this point. Shops is something that it's been a little tough, but it's been hit or miss. The games don't feel like they're lost, but they don't feel particularly great. So yeah. So we're a rack version of the POX in Vintage. Seems weird because of all the cantrips, like I said, like with cards like Ancestral, Library of Alexandria. It's sometimes hard to get them online, but you get like your Chains down, you get Underworld Dreams down. Underworld Dreams punishes your opponent for drawing cards. Chains makes it so your opponent doesn't actually net cards when they draw extra cards. So, and then I got Lily out of the Veil naturally to help with that. Necropotence to help refuel the hand. Necropotence is somewhere I'm kind of considering adding some type of life gain effect to the deck, because I have had games where I can draw a lot of cards with Necropotence, like up to 15. I still don't quite have what I need at that point, and you know, I either have to help my opponent decide to get rid of Necropotence, or I need to find a way to gain life. So that's been a little rough, but that should be fine. So we got 4 Thoughtseizes for hand disruption. We got 4 Hymn to Torok. We got the Singleton Mind Twist. Smallpox can help with hand disruption. Free Lily on the Veil. We got our, you know, Vintage Power. We got the Black Lotus and Mox Jet. We've got our tutors with Demonic and Vampiric Tutor. We get a Yogg-Will to rebuy from our graveyard. Yogg-Will oftentimes will end up just rebuying like a Dark Ritual to a Thoughtseize, a Smallpox, and like a land, you know, which is actually decent enough value on its own. I actually have a Singleton Dark Petition here as a way to kind of just get like a quick, easy way to get like a Necropotence, a Crucible, Underworld Dreams, whatever may fit the bill for whatever we need at that time. Dark Petition is probably a little too cute. It probably doesn't need to be in here, but it's something I would like to test and figure out if it's actually worth it. This could very easily just be like the 4th Lily on the Veil, the 4th Thorak. It could even be like just rando other Mox just to have another extra mana source. I don't think the off-color Mox are really worth it because we really are just a black mana-hungry deck. So that's the main board. Sideboard, so now we have 2 Infernal Weapons thanks to BPAF here. That's going to be for the Shops matchup. We got 2 Phyrexian Obliterator, which is also awkwardly for the Shops matchup, but seems pretty sweet. So So 2 Grafdigger's Cage, Yixo Jailer, 4 Leyline for like dredge, graveyard-based strategies. Mostly just dredge. For graveyard-based strategies, I don't generally bring in Leylines. It's usually like a couple of Cage if I really feel like I need them, but generally I don't need them. Cage could potentially become something else. Also for Oath, I guess. Cage helps. So we get 2 Null Rods. That's for like Paradoxical Outcome. It's for like some of like Time Vault decks, like Tezzerets and whatnot. I did have a Big POX in here, but more often than not, Big POX just wasn't really what I needed whenever I needed it. For the most part, Big POX is basically like, okay, you have 1 card in hand, you'll discard that 1 card, we'll take a chunk of your life total to help the rack out. And Big POX is fine, and I really think that I might try it again, but for right now, I'm off Big POX. Dark Petition actually took the Big POX spot, and that could probably actually end up being reversed, because I think Dark Petition's a little greedy. We're not like Storm, where we're trying to just build up a bunch of rituals, get a Dark Petition, go get Key Card. We're really just, we're a land destruction deck, with the racks. So Sorcerer's Spyglass coming against any deck that's going to be heavy on Planeswalkers. Jace the Mind Sculptor is really tough for me. There's a chance I want to kind of I'm thinking about testing a either Never Return or Hero's Downfall as a way to answer a Jace once it's hit the board, because Mistress Factories just aren't really efficient enough. With the rules changes recently for damage and Planeswalkers and targeting and whatnot, the rack can no longer keep a Planeswalker in check, whereas the rack used to be able to do that. If you can keep your opponent's hand low, the rack you can redirect damage at like Jace and stuff like that. So that made it a little bit difficult. That made it a little tough, but for the most part, we're trying to just get a Jace out of hand before they get to the point where they resolve a Jace. So yeah, that's what the deck is. Overall, I'm very happy with it. There's still some work to be done. Recently, the tops have been added, and I feel like they help a lot in helping out with the variance of, it's a mono black deck. You're not a blue cantrip deck. So top has been helping out with a lot of the variance problems I've been struggling with. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this league. We're going to try it out. Hopefully the Vintage League is a little busy tonight. A lot of times it's hard to get matches, so we're going to hope we can fire this off, get through this league, and get done. Zero Groove, thank you very much for following me. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone that stopped by. Hope you all enjoy the show. Oh, by the way, your mic is clipping. Do you think you can lower the volume a little bit, knobs? Yeah, I could do that. Sorry, I missed that message. I hope that's better. Underworld James is pretty sweet, honestly. Oh, we got a match. Awesome. Didn't even take a minute. Alright, let's try this out. We won the die roll. That's good. So we're against the deck 84. I don't know if that's supposed to be something, but we'll find out. This hand actually isn't bad. We got Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Vamp Tutor, Him, Smallpox. So I think we would just probably start with a Thoughtseize, try and get a peek at what my opponent's doing. We could try to bait like a misstep by starting with like a Dark Ritual or something, but I think the Thoughtseize is where we want to go. Probably on our upkeep, we might want to Vamp Tutor so we can get a Necropotence in play, hopefully. We'll see what's going on with my opponent, though. Might just end up seeing a misstep here. We might see a Force of Will. What we got here? Force of Will, Paralyzed, Tezzeret the Seeker. Alright, so we can interact with most of this before it hits. So I'm just going to take the Force of Will to ensure we can resolve this Vamp Tutor. And then get a Necropotence in play. Okay. I'm not getting Strip Mined here. It's some type of Grixis artifact-based value strategy, I guess. I don't really... I'm not 100% on a lot of these deck lists. Alright, so we didn't get anything. So let's get that Necropotence. If I can do this. How's alphabetical order work again? Oh yeah, A through whatever. There we go. So we're just going to try and jam this Necropotence in play now. Hopefully my opponent didn't draw a Force of Will, but if we get this Necropotence in play, we should be able to take over the game pretty quick. If they have to force, they have to get rid of Tezzeret, so alright. We'll start with just drawing 5 cards. And we'll just pass the turn. Okay. Not bad. So we got the Rack, we got Thoughtseize, we got a Him here, we got Demonic Tutor. We're looking pretty good. I could potentially next turn play a land, Demonic Tutor for a Lotus, and really jam out some stuff. I don't think I want to play it that greedy though, but that is a possibility. So it'd be 4 mana, so I can go Thoughtseize, the Rack, Him, and that should pretty much empty my opponent's hand, which is not bad. I can turn off this upkeep stuff. Okay. I'll start with a Thoughtseize. We have the mana for that anyway, so we'll try that out. If they don't use Vamp Tutor here, I'm likely just taking the Vamp Tutor. I clearly have wonderful taste in deck, thank you. My taste in decks would be, you might consider it to be sick. Oh, I hate puns. Why did I do that? I'm so sorry, people. Please don't leave. Alright, so my opponent did Vamp Tutor. So we know Vamp Tutor's out of hand. We'll clear all this out so they don't need to see any of this. So they have Flush of Storm, so they could Flush of Storm my Demonic Tutor, so I might just have to take that. If I already have like a Wasteland up or whatnot, I considered looking like Crucible. But we're going to go ahead and take this Flush of Storm. Let's go ahead and resolve this Demonic Tutor. We'll get a Black Lotus, and we'll jam the rack and Hymn to Torok. Cast that. And then we'll draw a bunch of cards with that. And we've actually lost a decent amount of life, so we're going to have to be a little careful with managing our life totals with this Necropotence. Need this rack to really do something big. So we got rid of the DT and the Tezzeret, that's good. Alright. I can't picture we're going to be facing down damage, so we can pretty much go nuts with this Necropotence all the way down to 1 life, I assume. So we're going to stop there. We'll play this Mistress Factory. I do need to make sure I'm not just smallpoxing at 1 life, though. There's that. Alright, so we know my opponent has Strip Mine Pyroblast. So my opponent did get to resolve Vamp Tutor, so whatever they went for, they have. Double Underworld Dreams is very good if we can get those in play. Would love if one of those cards was a Dark Ritual. Ancestral. Okay, that kind of hurts. Underworld Dreams would have been great to have in play at that point. Sure, mine's fine. Yep. Oh, they got rid of my Legendary Land for me, so I can play this other one. Probably play Mistress Factory, though. Got this Mistress Factory online, so we can start punching. So we know they don't have that Strip Mine anymore. Tinker. Okay. So this is just a Blightsteel. We're actually okay. We can smallpox it away. Yeah, it's Blightsteel. Cool. That works. I like it. Alright. Let's go ahead and smallpox, get rid of that Tinker, get rid of that bot. I don't think I need this. I do need this Orborg. I don't think I need the redundant smallpox, though. We're going to sack a swamp since we have another Orborg in our hand. Opponent's discarding their Pyroblast that we knew about. Let's see what they sack. If they sack the island instead of Underground Sea, I can Wasteland them next turn. It's possible I should have waited to play a land. Yeah, I probably should have waited to play a land. So I could just Wasteland them here, but that's fine. I'm going to sit on the Necropotence for a minute here. Okay. So here I'm jamming Underworld Dreams for sure. My opponent did miss a land drop, so it's tempting to just Wasteland them and just get in for some damage, which I might actually do. I think that was probably the correct call. And we're at 3 life, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple more cards. No, I can't gain life. I can't get rid of Necro. I'll probably end up just drawing a couple of cards. I think with what we have here, we should hopefully be able to pull it out. I do need to find a way to gain life. Only problem I've had with Necropotence so far is this little issue here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and draw 2 with Necro. Call it that. Okay. Yogwell's pretty good. Yogwell's pretty good. Yeah, I can get behind that. We got the 4th land too, so that's nice. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. Yogwell was a very nice draw off that, not gonna lie. Get that Yogwell, okay. Ritual. Lotus. DT. Do I want a DT yet? I don't think I do. I have another Ritual in here. Okay, so I can't cast Smallpox, I can't cast Vampiric Tutor, I can't cast Thoughtseize. So I think here, oh, my opponent scooped, okay. So we're going to go to, ooh, what did I just drop? No, I think I got rid of Liliana accidentally. Okay. So we're against some weird Tezzeret, probably like, we're against a real like Tezzeret, Grixis, like Tinkerbot deck. So we're definitely going to want the Null Rods. I think the Grafdigger's Cage are probably okay, but Infernal Reckoning seems way better. Ooh, this is a good way to get rid of Blightsteel and gain some life back for Necro. I like that. We can do that. That's going to be fun. Thank you very much, BPAF. That's awesome. If you didn't suggest that, I wouldn't have these right now. This should be a lot of fun. They do have Planeswalkers, so I'm going to probably want the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Can shut down the Time Vault combo. I can shut down Tezzeret. They have Jace, I can shut down Jace, so I'm going to want that. I don't think Raptor's Gate is going to be necessary. They're probably a deck that has Mental Misstep. So I don't think Smallpox is really going to be great here. As much as I love Smallpox, I don't think it's going to be good. Crucible's probably okay, but I think I can trim it. I don't really think I need it. They have like 8 Strip Mine, probably. And I don't think Strip Mine or Wastelock's going to be amazing against them. Because they're probably going to be Artifact. They're probably going to have plenty of Artifact mana. This is a pretty good hand for what they're doing. I'm fine with this. We can turn one Thoughtseize, clear the way a little bit. If we see a bunch of cantrips and stuff, we can turn 2 Chains. We see a bunch of Artifact mana, we can turn 2 Null Rod. So we're going to try this. I think this is going to be okay. How's the mic sounding now? Is the mic good? Volume levels are okay? It's been a while since I streamed, so it's a little weird for me right now. Okay. Oh, Thoughtseize is decent. We can do that. Alright, what you got, buddy? Misstep? Yeah, we got Misstep. Okay. So they lost 2 life, we didn't. That's awesome. I'll take it. Oh, Brainstorm. That would have been a great place to have Chains in play already. Ugh. Okay, so they got the perfect Brainstorm with a fetch. Mana Crypt, okay. So can't play Tezzeret at the moment. Need second blue for that. What do you got for 5 mana? Paradoxical, probably. Well, Paradoxical value, I'm assuming. No, that's Treasure Cruise, okay. Treasure Cruise is pretty good. Damn, that would have been nice to have that Chains in play. Alright. I think here I just have to try and jam the Null Rod. And hope they don't have the Force. I don't think I have time to set up Chains or like Thoughtseize again. I think I just have to gem the Null Rod. Okay, it worked out. Awesome. Come on, Mana Crypt. Give me some damage. Yeah, there's a bolt. Awesome. My opponents dealt 5 to themselves. Plus a fetch. That's 6. Oh, 7. Opponent's life total is going away quick. Now if we just find a rack, we'll be in good shape. So I think this turn I'm likely going to Thoughtseize, see what they got. Oh, definitely going to... Oh, I can't Chains now. If I'm going to Chains, I have to get Spyglass in play because they can start targeting me with this Stack Fade, and not something I want. And that's one of the things that I found with Chains was it could be a little awkward, but for the most part, I can still handle it. Not a big deal. We discard the Time Vault. Okay. Let's Thoughtseize them, see what they got going here. We'll probably jam the Sorcerer's Spyglass. We'll name the deck Fade in here. And then we can jam Chains next turn. Hopefully shut down some of this crap. Forcible Mana Drain. Okay. So that's pretty good. So we're going to name deck Fade with that. Keep their hand open. So they have Vamp Tutor, Mana Drain, Forcible. Chances are we'll see an upkeep stop here where they're going to Vamp Tutor. Mana Crypt can't add mana, but it's still hurting them. That's what matters to me. There's a chance we'll see a Hurkyl's Recall. They did see like the rack out of me in game 1, so they might have brought in some type of repeal, Hurkyl's Recall, something to interact with artifacts. So they might just be able to bounce all this. Okay, they had Ancestral. Cool. Chains would have been pretty nice if I could have afforded it with this stack in play. So they have Mana Drain, Force, 2 unknowns. Wasteland's not terrible when they have Tolarian Academy. So I'm just going to go ahead and waste that. Jam this Liliana. They can't currently Mana Drain, so they're going to have to Force Pitch. They Force Pitch, that's great. Force Pitch Jace. Okay, so they still have Mana Drain in hand. Assuming they Vamp Tutored for the Tolarian Academy, my opponent's now at 2 because of their Mana Crypt, so sometimes you don't have to do anything. Yogwill, that doesn't really do anything, so let's go with Liliana again. They're probably going to Mana Drain this, which I'm fine with. Okay. There's a chance I should have gemmed Chains into the Yogwill, into the Mana Drain, but we're going to hope Mana Crypt just kills him anyway. No, it's not going to kill him, right? Oh, yes, we got it. So we're 2-0 so far in games, 1-0 in matches. So Mana Crypt won the game for us. Awesome. That was some fun. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask at any point in time. In between rounds, I'll make sure to keep the deck up on the screen, so that way if you have any questions about deck lists or anything, you can ask. So yeah, the No Rod and Sorcerer's Spyglass was very good there. That was awesome. Oh, joining the match. Here we go. Great. Match number 2 going on. Okay, so we're playing B. Bendham. Okay. Why am I such a nice guy? I just try, you know. It happens. This hand's fine. It's got like a turn 2 him. We can turn 1 try and jam a Sensei's Wine Top to help clean up our top decks once this him has been taken care. Once this him has been fired off. We get a Wasteland to interrupt something like a Library of Alexandria, interact with like a Twiran Academy, anything weird like that. Deal Rules, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate it. Oh, got missteps. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. Get the missteps out of my opponent's hand now, and hopefully we can jam some. Hopefully we can jam some Thoughtseizes in the racks later. Fairy Conclave. All right, so we're against. We are against what's it called? Landstill. So we're gonna him here. We're gonna hope that they don't just jam Standstill. If they don't just jam Standstill in here, we can resolve an Underworld Dreams. We're in pretty good. We're in very good shape.
Oh,
we have a Wasteland and a Mistress Factory, so if they do jam Standstill, we can waste the Fairy Conclave. Artifacts and lands enter the battlefield tapped. Well, aren't you a jerk? Root Maze. Okay, so we're playing against Stasis, I'm guessing, and it has green, so I'm guessing there's some Wilderness like Reclamations in here. It's kind of unfortunate I didn't jam Wasteland there in that case. Ooh, Mox Chat. Okay. So we can jam Wasteland here now. It'll come in tap, though. Play this Underworld Dreams. Okay. Right, we'll hope my opponent can interact with that. Something tells me it's going to be a long, drawn-out game. We'll yield to that trigger always. Alright, so I'm kind of feeling like I want to go after this white source in my Wasteland. Between Underworld Dreams and Mistress Factory, I should be able to erase their Fairy Conclaves. So we'll go ahead and do that. Get rid of this white source in case they have Fragmentized main board. I'm going to go ahead and Vamp Tutor right now. So here, I think I probably just want to Chains. Crucible Worlds is very tempting. I'm going to go with a Crucible. It'll help just completely protect us against like this crap. This is a spicy matchup for sure. Alright, so we can resolve the Crucible of Worlds I put on top. Our Wastelands take over the Fairy Conclave, so we're in very good shape. If the Crucible doesn't resolve, obviously, we're... If we have to erase 2 Fairy Conclaves, we're in a little bit of trouble. Because Underworld Dreams is not good enough to catch that up. We don't have to now, though. So, that's right, it comes into play tap. Alright, let's get in with a Mistress Factory, then. So every other turn we can Wasteland them. Or every turn, I guess, because I can use a Wasteland, replay Wasteland, so... I feel like Root Maze is actually hurting them more than it's hurting me here. I guess it slows down my Wastelands a little bit. What is... Oh, yeah. Wilderness Reclamation. Yep, that's it. That's a card. I'm assuming we're against Stasis, but I might be wrong. What are you doing? Yeah, you're not fragmentizing me, bruh. Just going to go ahead for that white source again. It feels like they're setting up for a fragmentize, so I think I have to go after their white sources. Next, I'm probably just going to go after this Tropon. I can't attack into Fairy Conclave, so I'm going to go ahead and pass. Like, I can because I have Crucible, but I'd rather not, if I can help it. But with my Underworld Dreams, my Wasteland Lock, my Mistress Factory, I'm actually pretty happy with where I'm at. My Chains, which is going to make their Ponder discard before they draw. So whatever card they have in hand is going to the bin. So I think we're in very good shape here. I highly doubt they have many ways to interact with Enchantment's main board. We might lose the Crucible between Underworld Dreams, Chains of Softlies, the couple Wastelands we fired off already, the Wasteland we're about to fire off. We should get this. Yeah, okay, we got this. Awesome. So, okay, we kind of know what we're going against. So we're going to want Sorcerer's Spyglass to shut down their Fairy Conclaves. We don't care about Grafdigger's Cage, and Infernal Reckoning's not going to do anything. We could potentially bring in, like, Leyline of the Void to shut off, like, Dull spells, but that seems just weak, so we're not going to do that. Dark Petition's probably a little too slow. And then I think Small POX is going to be very good here. Leyline of Veil seems a little awkward, but I'm still keeping it. I'm going to get rid of the Mind Twist. It's possible I should trim a Hymn to Torok over a Mind Twist, but Hymn to Torok's a little faster to get out the gate. Mind Twist is a little bit easier on mana for me. I am running the 2 Mistress Factories, 4 Wastelands, and whatnot, but I've got plenty of black mana, so I'm not worried about that. The Shops matchup's a little tough. I had a match against Shops earlier, or last night, where... ooh, I capped. That's not good. I guess I have Wastelands. That's fine. I had a matchup against Shops where they went, like, they got a turn 2 kill on me. So that was a little tough. The first game was just like, here's a Foundry Inspector, here's a Steel Overseer, here's another Foundry Inspector, you know, enjoy, good luck, nerd. You know, so I ended up, I lost that match. It was tough. But VPAF actually suggested Infernal Reckoning, which I'd forgotten about. I'd seen it in, I think, Seth Banfield's Bug Leovold list he 3-0'd with on VSL, and that was my first time looking at that card, really. So I think Infernal Reckoning will help a lot. Fraction Obliterator, I actually would have resolved the turn after I died to Shops, and that might have helped a little bit, but yeah, who didn't see Conceptual Recall coming? So Shops has been a little tough, but I think overall it should be okay. I think I can fix a little bit. Wow, that's a vintage hand. So I can Wasteland him, which I'm fine with. I can also just Jam Liliana. I don't think Jam Liliana is where we want to be right now. So I think I'm going to Wasteland, get them off green. Well, I guess their second blue source as well. Black Lotus can obviously sack for blue, but if they want to sack it for the second blue, I'm fine with it. Gosh! I walked right in that one. Yeah, walked right into that one. Additional Wasteland, got Factory, it's fine. We'll make that back. What do you got? Nature's Claim on my Mox Jet. Sure, I'll take 4 more life. I resolve a Necropotence at some point. We're going to be very happy. Hey, look, I got the Tropical Island anyway. I guess the 4 extra life is fine. If I resolve a Necropotence at some point, I can get 4 extra cards at least. Demonic Tutor is not terrible. I don't think Demonic Tutor is where I'm at right now. I think I'd rather hold that. Kind of get a feel for where we're at in this matchup. Kind of feel for what we really need before I use it. Oh, it's like DT to resolve, so it's probably one of the last ones I cast. Oh yeah, Infernal Reckoning on like a Thought Knot or whatnot seems pretty good. Wilderness Reclamation. Okay, that makes things troubling. It's not a huge problem, but it's not great for us either. Okay, they're floating mana, so I'm assuming we're probably going to see like a... What is this? Fact or Fiction? Does that mean I lose, right? That means I lose? Oh, God. I don't want them to have Search Rascanta. I don't care if they missed up. Time Walk's annoying. I can't let them have 2 Wilderness Reclamations, so I think I have to keep those in separate piles. Ugh. Fact or Fiction and Vintage. That's not what I want to see. I don't think these piles are technically correct. I know I don't want them to have a second Wilderness Reclamation with a Search for Ascanta. I know they're taking the Search for Ascanta, so I do have a Wasteland for that, though. I'm going to try to hit them here, get cards back a little bit more on parity. Search Canto flips, or when it flips, I can just Wasteland it, which is nice. Force pitch for Force. So we know their hand is Search and Time Walk. We do not know what the other contents of their hand currently. So here's the Search Canto we were anticipating. End step, they're going to untap their 2 lands. We're going to play a Wasteland. Oh, that was a waste. I should have got the no activator in play. Go ahead and jam this Liliana now. We know one of their cards in hand is Time Walk. If they pitch that to a Force, I'm fine with that. They don't have the mana for Mana Drain currently. Okay, that's Force. Pitching Flusterstorm. Okay. So we now know the exact contents of their hand. They have 1 Time Walk in hand. Not ideal for us, but that's fine. The 1 Time Lock, plus we're going to get to destroy the Search if they flip it. I'm okay with that. We're pretty much back on parity, using 2 cards to make them use 2 Force Wills. Got rid of a Flusterstorm and an extra Force, so it's a Preordain. So I think next turn, need another black mana for Demonic Tutor into Necropotence. My opponent misses on a blue source here. They can't cast Time Lock, which is nice. Okay, Vampiric Tutor is not bad. I think here I just want to play Underworld Dreams. Okay, so they're still off. They still don't have the ability to have Mana Drain at the moment, so that's good. So I'm going to stop on my upkeep because I'm probably going to want to use the Vamp Tutor. It'll bait out counter magic. It'll do whatever it needs to do. In response to this, I'm going to go ahead and kill that Search Canto now. Do not want that to stay in play. It's on an island, so they're not going to get rid of the Gush again. It was a little obnoxious, but they want to activate that now. They're pretty much out of mana for the turn, which I'm fine with. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass priority. I have no other things on their turn to do. Oh, excuse me. Flood Strand, okay. So they'll have 2 blue on their turn, most likely. So Mana Drain's going to be back up. Yes, draw all the cards, opponent. Sounds good to me. So chances are we'll see a counter on this Vampiric Tutor. No, we did not. Okay. So, I'm going to get the Necropotence, but not cast it yet. I'm going to try and cast this Demonic Tutor. Okay, so let that resolve too. So I have no way to interact with this Wilderness Reclamation. I think I'm just going to top here, right? I get a top, play that. We'll hold the Necro for next turn. Hope we can resolve it. Need to get some discards when I need to get though. So we know they still have Time Lock at least in hand. Another Search Canto, okay. Seems good. Let's stop back on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get that Search online for this turn. They'll get to flip it, they'll get to activate it, and possibly activate it again if they want to. We know they no longer have this Time Lock. So there's 2 cards we don't know about in their hand currently. I have a feeling before their end step they'll activate this Azcanta, so I can just untap all their lands. I'm going to go ahead and pass priority. Hopefully we're going to solve this Necro, see what they find. So they got a Preordain again. So they could cast that Preordain this turn. We know they've used a ton of permission so far. We know that they have Mana Drains though, so I'm a little concerned with just trying to jam Necro. I don't just want to give them 3 free mana on their turn. So I'm going to try to top on my upkeep, see if we can find... I'm going to top my upkeep, see if we can find some type of discard or whatever. Maybe some type of mana ramp or whatnot as well. Chains is not bad. We'll put that on top. We'll resolve chains here, hopefully. If we don't resolve chains, that's fine. I think they have to just counter this, so they're probably activating their search. They're activating search. Okay, so they're digging. So we could have possibly resolved this Necropotence. There's a chance they have Flush of Storms in hand. They might have mana. If they had Mana Drain, I feel like they would have just used it. If I knew one of the top 3 cards in my deck was a Black Lotus right now, I'd top again. It's a Fairy. Oh, okay. That's a good one. Alright. Yeah, okay, I see that. Fairy's pretty good. Yep, that's a Teferi. What are you bidding? I'm gonna top real quick. Okay. Yep. Underworld, that go down. That's fine. Alright, so I'm going to draw that Sorcerer's Spyglass. I just gotta hope they don't have 2 forms of counter magic here. So I'm going to draw with top to get my other land in hand. So I can jam Sorcerer's Spyglass and name Teferi. Oh no! No, I forgot about my own chains! What a tool. I gotta get rid of this Necropotence, I think. Fudgicles. Oh, I can kill the Teferi anyway, so I'll just discard that. Alright, let's jam this. We're gonna kill a Teferi with my Mishra's Factory, hopefully. This is definitely not gonna resolve. I can't picture a world where Necropotence resolves here. I've drawn too many cards. Okay, so they have to dig. Alright. So mana drain is not on the table. It has to be force. Trying to think what else I could possibly get. Stasis. Sure. Your Teferi's so gonna die at least. Don't have swords. They have swords. Alright, let's pump this Mishra Factory to get the extra life. Alright, let's draw some cards. We got a lot of cards to draw. So it's gonna put the top in our hand. It's gonna put top back in our hand. It's gonna put the what's it called back in our hand. Underworld Dreams. We need to find hopefully some Dark Rituals and some lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, Lotus, perfect. Okay. Not perfect, but they have Stasis and Wilderness Reclamation. That sucks for us, but. Oh, this deck's pretty sweet. So I think I have to play Wasteland and get rid of this Azcanta. So we're probably just going to Lotus, get Underworld Dreams in play, and get rid of the Azcanta with my Wasteland. So digging here. Every time does not bode well for us. This could easily end up being any type of permission on their hands. Which means we might not even just fire off this Wasteland. I think we might have to, though. I guess my opponent's running low enough cards where I might not have to. Stasis, yeah. I was expecting that. Got so much life to deal with. I've got so much life to play with to draw cards, too, so it's not really a huge deal. Chains, okay, cool. Balance. Okay. Give 2 cards in hand. I get to get down to 2 cards. I think we have to keep Lotus, Underworld Dreams. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Go back. Undo. Oh, come on, really? I did this with the balance the other day. I chose the cards to keep instead of the cards to discard. I'm so used to just choosing the cards to discard. Oh, sweet. There we go. Cool. I can undo it. Oh, thank God. Ugh, that scared the crap out of me. I'm so glad I was able to undo that. I did it the other day, and I was like, no, what have I done? Yep. Okay. Balance is a good Magic card. My opponent loses. Yeah, my opponent lost a couple lands at least. That's cool. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. We know Stasis is not one of them. Okay. Cast Lotus. Hope it resolves. Cast Underworld Dreams. Hope it resolves. Yeah. It's cancel being activated. Magic. Okay. It wasn't being activated, it was being cast. Cool. Yeah, let's draw a bunch of cards again. Oh, that Nature's Claim was awesome earlier. We're drawing all the cards now. Whew. So we're up a game, so in the Slogfest we might still get there. Small POX isn't bad. Dark Ritual is a good start. We still have quite a few lands in the deck. Okay, another top, Strip Mine, Wasteland, awesome. This is all good stuff. Never get rid of that Stasis, so that's unfortunate. Mana Drain adds 3 mana. So I think here we're probably going to Wasteland that Excanta. Really want to limit their mana, limit their ability to dig, so... Yeah. Really need to get something in play to punish them for the drawing extra cards. This is sweet. I like this. That. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Connor? What's good? Getting spanked by Stasis. We're up a game, but this is not looking good. Flusterstorm. That's rude when I have like nothing. Well, they're gonna have to do the Fairy Tuck at some point. I'm gonna go ahead with 3 here, I think. I don't mind discarding like Orborg. Hey, what's up, Evil Man? How you doing? It is good Stasis. Love the Wilderness Reclamation and the Teferi. My versions of Stasis have Teferi in them, so what are you doing? I think Escanta. I probably should just waste some of that, honestly. It would have been hilarious if they tapped this down too. Mental Misstep. Okay, so we know that we're not resolving a 1-mana spell next time we get the chance. I don't think we need extra Orborg. Yep, Necropotence can happen. Got home for another cold day, yeah. Same. Alright, so my opponent doesn't have mana to do anything on their turn, which is nice. I'll have to wait until their end step at least. Teferi's still going to draw my card. Fairy Conclave, okay. So that's going to challenge our life a little bit. That's rough. So I think I just have to waste on the Fairy Conclave, unfortunately. Bye, Conclave. Brainstorm, okay. You keep getting rid of those cards in your library, bud. I gotta answer this. I gotta do something about the fairy before he ends up with an emblem. Alright, just passing. Use Necro once, I guess. Why not? Oh. Smallpoxes aren't ideal. Snapcaster Mage, okay. That's gonna be something. I feel like Snapcaster Mage getting this Time Walk would probably just be better, though, if they just wait until their turn. It doesn't particularly change the clock at all. It gives them extra Teferi tick up. Sap Ancestral, sure. Please draw all the cards. Hopefully you draw more cards than you can survive. I mean, they always have the Teferi Tuck, so it's not really. I'm not extremely hopeful that that works out, but yeah, being the vintage content manager for Hipsters of the Coast happens to make me a little more into vintage. Strip mine, eh? Ooh, Jace, okay. We're probably in deep crap. Yep, strip mine on my board. Kind of anticipated that happening. Yep. Hopefully my opponent doesn't realize they're at 6 cards. So my opponent uses their strip mine, so I'm safe to just jam a swamp here and pass. How many Orborgs have I gone through? One Orborg so far? Okay. I'm actually fine with my opponent timing out anyway, so I'm going to drag. As much as it sucks and it's kind of crappy, I'm going to drag this out a bit. And I apologize for the fact it's not going to be the most ideal content, but Library of Alexandria. You should draw more cards. That sounds great. You have 5 cards left in your library. Keep going on. Exactly. When I registered Stasis, I kind of knew the deal as well, so. It's good times. It's fine. It's fine. This is good times. What you doing, buddy? You gonna activate this Jace? Ooh, snap. Like, what do you got here? Maybe, like, dig through time and get 2 cards in your library? Was that Time Lock? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't pick that. So what do you think? We're at 9, so they're going to get another turn after this. Then we'll take 4. Go 5. We're not dead yet. I don't think we can erase them, but we're not dead yet. Teferi Tuck plus Jace isn't technically a lock, but it means they can't mill themselves, and now they have Snapcaster Mages in place, so we can't particularly win either. Oh, they can't untap their Snapcaster Mages. That's so cute. Awesome. So I'm not particularly just dead to this. They have to Teferi Tuck, in which case they time out, and that's just a dick move anyway. I don't care if Necro's offline. I'm not using it anymore anyway, since life actually matters now. Can you scoop? You can't win a game 3. Come on. Alright, we go 7. Yep. Okay. Oh, they got rid of their stasis. Ooh. He's candy. Top. So we got here. Not really excited about any of these cards. Tabernacle's not terrible, but I don't think it's necessary. They named Necro after. That's so weird. Guess I'll get rid of their white source. One of the white sources, right? I don't know if it really particularly matters. Let's get right. That's Kanta. Doesn't matter. All right. So Teferi can't ultimate yet. They have to tick up more into a chains in order for that to matter. We're going to take 4 here, go to 3. So I can Smallpox twice next turn and answer 2 of their creatures. It won't be the right 2 probably, though. Target my chains. It's top. Make sure it doesn't get above anything we don't want them to have. So I think now I'm going to put this Tabernacle on top just to tax their mana more. I guess it doesn't really particularly matter since they have this Wilderness Reclamation anyway, but... Okay. Oh, I still have Necropotent, so I still can't draw cards. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's so bad. I think I'm just dead here. Okay, that's fine. I'll concede now. So Necropotence was a problem. I don't think there's anything different I really would do. I just got to be on top of them early, and not being on the play actually helps me do that, so... Dark Petition might be worth it. Necro... Necro might not be good enough here. Well, I guess I didn't see a rack all game, so... seems fine. Alright, so they're milling to 5. They're milling to 4. Oh, they're milling to 5 here now. Okay, they're on 5. So I could Dark Ritual into one of these. I'm going to wait until turn 2 to do that. Hopefully Dark Ritual into 2 hymns. Ooh, uh-oh. Do we have a vintage hand? Search. That's a quick search, okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's Thoughtseize, see what they do. 2 Preordains, okay. Just gonna pass. They have 1 Preordain in hand, I'm fine with that. So I'm probably going to... Hopefully I draw something relevant so I can just Dark Ritual into that, like something better. Like Underworld Dreams will be fine, but I'm probably going to end up Dark Ritualing into him Spyglass. Okay, that works. Yeah, we're just going to him, just get rid of that 1 card. We'll Spyglass for this. That's Kanta. Mystical Tutor. Okay, what are you getting? Ancestral. That sucks. Okay. Alright. Whatever. What can you do? So her name was it Azcanta the Sunken Ruin? I suppose naming Teferi might just be better though. Yeah, I'm just gonna name Teferi here. Alright. We have Wastelands that can interact with that. We don't have much that can interact with Teferi. So I'm drawing Ancestral here and be able to cast it. It sucks, but it's fine. I don't feel like it's the end of the game. They play any 1 card, our him then gets rid of whatever else they have. So they just pass here, our him can just empty their hand. Love to find the rack. Get that going. Some damage on. Get some damage out there. Well, that's not terrible. Still gonna him though. Okay, they're gonna fetch. Okay. Does a Teferi and a Windswept Heath. Okay. So now I can flip this. Start activating that. So I'm gonna hope to find a Wasteland. I can get this Liliana in place, start taking her up. Hopefully they didn't find like a Force of Will or a freaking Mana Drain. They're gonna activate Azcanta. Come on, come up short, don't come up with it. So Force and Mandarin are both live. If they have Spell Pierces, that's live. Black Lotus is not live. Okay. Discard this extra Orborg. Okay. So they have plenty of mana. There's no reason for them to have kept the Black Lotus. That at least can pad out their hand. So it makes sense if they would grab that to discard out of all the cards they possibly could have grabbed. Activating Search again, okay. So can I get a Wasteland? Gosh, that's pretty good. Okay. My opponent play a land this turn? They did not. So I get to replay one of those. So we know they have Trop Tundra in hand. They played the Tundra and cast it. Here's a Fact or Fiction again. Oh, that's obnoxious. I mean, I don't want them to have strip. I don't want them to have these three cards, so I have to do either or. So I took the double Wilderness Reclamation hand. So if I can find another him here, I can pretty much eliminate that. Sacrifice Strip Mine, kill this. Cast Smallpox. So their Strip Mine is gone. They force pitching what? So Gush is already gone. We saw them grab that with... oh, no, that was Life Lost. Okay, that wasn't a force. Okay. I'm going to tick up this Liliana. So one of these is gone. Plus Storm's gone. So they still have a Wilderness Reclamation in hand, which makes sense. Luckily, they only have one land in play. 2 land now. Okay. Oh, Fairy Conclave. Now I really need a Wasteland. If I can find a Wasteland here, I'm in decent shape. It's not a Wasteland. That's a Dark Ritual. Not quite the same. Okay, so this is gone. So we have zero idea of what the 3 cards in hand are. We're about to see one of them. Trop was one of them. That's right, we knew about that. It's the Gush. Ugh. So find a Wasteland, I can go to this Fairy Conclave. I'm in very good shape. I'm also at a point where if I can ultimate my Liliana, well, I'm not going to ultimate my Liliana because Fairy Conclave is going to keep her very much in check. Another Sorcerer's Spyglass would be good too. I gotta shut this down though. Nope, there's a chains, okay. Shut down your cantripping if you got cantrips. So we need to find a way to interact with the Fairy Conclave. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Mental Missteps to out. So Preordain is going to force them to discard a card before they draw. Because of chains. It's good. And they tap their blue source, so they can't activate their Fairy Conclave this turn unless they draw a land again. They discard plus Storm, so that was the last card in their hand. So we don't know what they have. They put 1 card on bottom, 1 card on top. So whatever they have now is something they wanted. There's a Mistress Factory, which is decent. The opponent has less than 2 minutes on the clock. They can't really do anything right now. Nature's Claim. That's actually okay. I'm fine with that. So while their Fairy Conclave is trying to keep Liliana in check, my Mistress Factory can keep them in their life total in check. If they want to trade the Fairy Conclave, that's fine. Then they can't keep Liliana in check. Alright, they scooped. Cool. So we're 2-0. Not a bad start. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. Oh, man. Alright. I gotta take a breather real quick. I'm gonna pull up the deck list if anyone wants to check it out. Oh, man. Some fun games so far. What did we play against? It was like Grixis Tezzerator or whatever. Grixis Tezzeret. And then we played against Blue-White Stasis. Wow. So So played against Bant Stasis with Wilderness Reclamation and Teferi. Ooh, I like it. When considering trying it out in Legacy, because I tried Blue-White Stasis in Legacy, I feel like Teferi is just way better than Deck Fade. And like, granted, it's another mana, but untapping 2 lands plus drawing cards is just so good. Be able to talk problem permanents. Man, this is pretty good so far. Just tweeting out that I'm 2-0 so far. I'm super excited. Oh man, if I keep playing decks like this, I might have to call it quits before the league is even over. There we go. Let's get around 3 in. Super exciting. This is the most viewers I've had in the last like 3 or 4 times I've streamed. I haven't streamed in months. Thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. I appreciate you all coming in and joining us. Hope you all enjoy the POX, getting sick and whatnot. We're playing as Montolio. Oh, shit. I want to play turn 1 Liliana or turn 1 Lily or turn 1 Crucible. Shops probably. Yeah, we're gonna go turn 1 Crucible Worlds, so we can waste lock hopefully. Enlightened Tutor seems really sweet for the deck. Whoa, what's this? Serum Powder. Okay, so we're against Dredge. So turn 1 Crucible is not good. Liliana is horrible here. So I have to play Wasteland here, I think, right? So we're against Dredge. Bait out the misstep. I guess it doesn't really matter if they misstep or not. They also have... Oh, they exiled the Force Well. This is not the cards I have. This is the cards they exiled. So Montolio is on Dredge. So here we'll probably have Swamp, Dark Ritual, Crucible to be able to Wasteland, keep them off Bazaars. They did have a Dredger, so we're in trouble. We have a Dredger plus a Bridge plus Nickrid. Not great for us. We can Wasteland this to make it so they can't fuel as fast. Ugh. Unmask. Pitching what? Bridge from below? Okay. That's one less Bridge from below we have to worry about, which is nice. We might just go post board with this, depending on what they take. Montolio takes my Dark Ritual. I think I'm going to be way too slow on doing anything. Liliana is just bad here. Crucible, like, if they take Dark Ritual Crucible, I'm just scooping. Because if I can like play Swamp, Dark Ritual, Crucible, Wasteland them, and then start replaying Wastelands, keep them at least off Bazaars, I might have a chance. But this is probably just I'm dead here. This is not going to end up happening. Dredge is so bad main board. Post board it's decent. That's kind of how the Dredge matchup goes, though, in general, right? Oh, I need another whiskey. Cheers, everyone, by the way. Hope you don't mind. I swear on occasion, I drink on stream. If you don't like it, I apologize. If you like it, then you know what? Pour one for me. Ritual's gone. I'll take 1 draw step. Nope. We're just gonna go ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and concede. Yeah, it's just. I'm not gonna waste time with that. I know how this ends. There's no way I'm gonna waste that time. We're gonna bring in Ley Lines. We bring in the Obliterator here. We're bringing the 2 Cage. Bringing the Ixalan Jailer. So Smallpox is bad. Him's bad. Liliana's bad. Pretty much all of our discard stuff is bad here. We can bring in Spyglass for Bazaar as well. And then 59 cards. We'll keep 1 Liliana in case they go like all in on like a Dread return of some sort. That's how we board against Dredge. It's most of the deck out. All but 2 of the cards out. I guess I could even board in Infernal Reckoning for Hulled ones. So let's get rid of this Liliana. Let's try that. We'll bring in Infernal Reckoning for Hulled ones. Why not? We'll play first. Fan's not great. Mulligan. Sand's not really any better. I poke up 7, so I have to mull. Fuck. Okay. This is oh sweet swamp on top. We'll keep. So yeah, we're gonna hope we can swamp Thoughtseize and not have it misstepped and take whatever they might have to interact with us. If this is a Nature's Claim, we're pretty much fucked. Yep, Nature's Claim. Crap. That's a very good opening hand, especially the Bazaar as well. Alright, let's try Thoughtseize here. I want to keep the Grafdigger's Cage until we've cleared the way of missteps. No missteps. We'll take this Therapy. So they have another Mana Confluence, they have Bazaar. Okay. So I can't get anything to play yet. So I should be able to hopefully... They do get 2 cards drawn that I'm not going to know about. If I draw Lantern, I can Thoughtseize Grafdigger's Cage. If I don't draw no Lantern, I just have to jam Grafdigger's Cage and hope for the best. Hope they don't have another Nature's Claim or a misstep. So they discarded Icarid, Stinky, and Gugari Grave Troll. So they have 2 unknowns. We have to try the Grafdigger's Cage. Hopefully it works. Alright, awesome. So Grafdigger's Cage is in play. That's the first step. Keeps the creatures in their graveyard. If we can resolve the rack, they generally have to use Bazaar to kind of churn through some cards and try to find what they need, which nets them negative cards, basically. So we can get a rack in play and hopefully start taxing them that way. I guess I can, same turn, draw into the Hate, Mana Confluence, and to kill this Grafdigger's Cage, and then possibly play on Bazaar. We're going to hope that doesn't happen, but Hardcast and Archamoeba. Okay. Thoughtseize you. They have another Bazaar. That sucks. Alrighty. I think Montalio's just sitting in front of his computer right now being like, what the fuck is happening to me right now? How did I get in this situation? I feel like that's probably appropriate for what Montalio's probably thinking right now. So yeah, having to mold like 4 no land playline was pretty tough. It's possibly my opening hand with like all the mana ramp, but not really any graveyard interaction would have been okay. But the hand that they kept right now, I don't know if I really had a chance this game, honestly. Bridge is problematic with the Narcomoeba, and Funnel Wrecking doesn't do anything to not hold one. This will be way faster than other matchups. Yeah, Worm, this is fine. Oh, look, they had a Nature's Claim. Sweet. I'm so happy right now. I'm probably super dead. Okay, the rack might actually be able to erase them, too. In all fairness. So we know they still have Mana Confluence. Oh no, did they discard a Mana Confluence? I lost track of that. Yeah, they discard the Mana Confluence. So there's the other Bazaar we knew about. So at this point, they're going to actually get negative cards, which means the rack's going to be super alive, which means we might need to draw another the rack, but we might actually be able to erase them. Prize Amalgam did not see a creature enter the battlefield this turn from the graveyard, so they have to activate the other Bazaar to get this Prize Amalgam in play. So if we draw another rack, we might actually be able to erase, right? So we're taking 7 here, so 16. If they get Prize Amalgam back this turn, they'll end up being 10 next turn. Oh, not including the bridges, that's right. They're getting zombies here, so actually I think we're just dead next turn. So I considered doing like a Legends heavy POX build where you get like a bunch of like the Abyss and and you get Nethervoid and whatnot. I think Nethervoid might be playable. The only problem is you really need the extra the only problem with Nethervoid is you really need all the extras. Like you need to have the you need to have more mana ramp. Vintage is such a fast format, you can't afford to take 2 turns off without casting those. Like, you have to cast those turn 1 generally. Nethervoid's tough because the mana's already kind of tight, where you might not be able to... That's not a Tabernacle, so we are just dead. Alright, we lost a Dredge. Ah, man, that would have been great to 5-0. So I think the Abyss might be fine. It's a little awkward since most of the creature strategies in Vintage either play artifacts like Shops, or they play stuff like Young Pyromancer, Monastery Mentor, or Snapcaster Mage. Young Pyromancer, Monastery Mentor, you're probably never hitting with the Abyss because you just chain cantrips and then you have so much token fodder to get rid of to the Abyss anyway. And against Shops, the Abyss can't hit artifact creatures, so that's a problem. And then the problem with Nether Void is just, again, like, you have to have like that, like, turn one, like, here's a Mox, here's a land, here's a Dark Ritual, boom, 4 mana Nether Void, and then you have to hope you have more mana in play. So you need to be mana heavy at that point. I don't think with just 21 lands you can do it. I don't think you can afford to play more than 21 lands. You might be able to play 24 like Legacy, but I think you lose too much in that sense. Aurum, to answer your question, so what I think makes POX playable in Vintage is, yeah, I was 2-0 before this match, but it was against, like, Grixis Tezzeret and Bant Stasis. So I think what makes POX playable in Vintage is you have the tutors like Vamp Tutor and Demonic Tutor, which are very good for finding the, like, key pieces you need. You have stuff like Black Lotus where you can get like a powerful turn one play. You have stuff like Mox Jet, which gets you around the problem of sacrificing your lands to stuff like Smallpox. You do get the option of having like Necropotence to refill after you've already trashed the board and wiped everyone's hands and whatnot. You have the ability to get Necropotence, so you can kind of like regain that card advantage. Yogg Will, you can rebuy everything from your graveyard. Generally works out pretty well in the late game. Mind Twist is like a 5th Hymn to Torok, which is awesome. And then Sensei's Divining Top is legal in Vintage and unrestricted. I stopped playing POX and Legacy once they banned Top because it was just like, there's no point to this. What am I doing here? This hand would be so good if I had a Black Source and could turn one Necro. Turn one Necro might not be great though, so I'm going to actually mulligan this anyway. This is not cute. My opponent's on 6. I don't really particularly want to mull to 5. I do have a Scry. I'm going to try this. I'm going to hope my top card is a land. If it's not, then we might be a little bit trouble. It's a Smallpox. We're not keeping that on top. Mox Jet. Okay. Top does a lot for it. Top does a lot for the deck for sure. So we're against humans. This is interesting. Kitesail. Oh, values a 10. Okay. Huh. Ooh, Tabernacle's a pretty good draw. Start with the top. I want to get that in play because I need the selection before my opponent does anything weird and funky and tries to interact with my hand. So I'm going to top my upkeep. I'm probably just going to play the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale just to get my opponent to have to pay all their mana into their creatures. Definitely want to find more land. Oh, Herborg's perfect. Okay, cool. Do that then. I'm going to play the Tabernacle here. We're going to start taxing my opponent's mana instantly. Next turn, we're probably going to jam him and the rack. Start clocking my opponent. So this could end up being a problem if my opponent gets super aggressive with these cards. I'm going to hopefully be able to follow up with a Wasteland at some point. But yeah, top is a huge thing. Like in Legacy, top actually made POX. Like at my locals, I would generally go like 4-1, 3-0, whatever, like however many rounds there were. I would generally do pretty well with it. Okay, shit's getting real here. What do I have here that I might go Vamp Tutor for? I don't think there's anything I really want to Vamp Tutor for at this point, so Mistress Factory is not a bad draw. Rack. Vamp Tutor actually kills me almost, right? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they have another creature in hand, that'll be 9, 10. So I can't Vamp Tutor, it just kills me. Grand Abolisher is not terrible to hit, but it's not great either. Yeah, we might just be dead here. I don't think I can come back from this. They had too much mana for what I had in a draw. It's possible I should have played Mistress Factory there for a blocker, but Or I really block, like, it only seems like a turn, which I don't think is enough time to really come back. Okay. Alright, let's top and see what we got on top. I don't think there's anything that saves me here, though. Yeah, nothing here saves me. Okay, we'll concede. Humans. Alright, Fraction Obliterator comes in for sure. Like, Licks to the Jailer might not be terrible. Just as a body to get in front of them. Because Chains is probably just bad against this deck. I don't think there's anything else. Null might not be terrible. Null could replace Underworld Dreams, I guess. Dark Petition could probably just go. Dark Petitions, I think, can stay. I'll try the Null Rods out, just because they did have some Artifact mana in play last turn. Null Rods can shut that down. So we'll try that. That's a weird... This is a weird deck to have... Oh, keep this for sure. We'll turn my Dark Ritual Liliana. Maybe. Dark Ritual into him and the Rack is actually more tempting, I think. Okay, we got rid of Athalia. That's good. That's a good start. I feel like next turn we're probably going to DT into... I don't know what their start is. Next turn I might DT into Black Lotus and Liliana. Black Lotus! Okay. Get wrecked. Sometimes it's all about those vintage hands. So I have to hope they don't just have Thalia here. So if they don't just play Thalia, Guardian of Raven. They did. Okay, of course. What else you got? Phyrexian Evoker? Awesome. What are you naming? I have to assume they name Black Lotus. They might name, like... They might name Liliana. I don't think they're going to get the idea that I'm running it. Since I've been... Okay, that makes sense. They did see that. Okay. Dark Ritual's not bad. Whoa. Whoa! Did I seriously just do that? Fuck. Oh boy. Alright. I couldn't Dark Ritual and Liliana anyways. I'm looking back on it. So if I can draw a Tabernacle here and they don't have another land, that's awesome. I could Dark Ritual into Demonic Tutor into Tabernacle. Unclaimed Territory, that's obnoxious. Okay. I can't believe I skipped through that turn. That was terrible. Lavinia. Okay. Oh, Flexion Obliterator. Oh, just shy mana for that. Okay, let's Dark Ritual into Demonic Tutor. Let's go get... So I have to think about this Lavinia that's in play right now. So I can't get Black Lotus, which would be nice. Let's get the Tabernacle. Pendulum Veil. So I can play Tabernacle, waste one of their sources, hopefully that they get stuck on one land, and I can get them down to one creature in play. Chances are they keep the Thalia in play. Can't picture they keep anything else. They might. Don't play land, don't play land, don't play land. Don't play land. Play another creature is fine, just don't play land. Especially not Wasteland. If they just play Wasteland or Strip Mine here, that'd be super weapons. Come on, what are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? Ooh, sweet. Alright, we're gonna get the land that can actually cast spells. It's gonna only cast creatures. Don't tell me you just have like a Fragmentize for this or something. Nope, you didn't. Okay, cool. Alright, what creatures you keeping? What creatures you keeping, buddy? Alright, we got a whiskey while my opponent figures this out. Lavinia's gone, that's good. If I draw Black Lotus, I can cast Flexion Obliterator almost. Kept Thalia. Another Wasteland would not be bad. Strip Mine's okay too. Prefer Wasteland. So, Black Lotus, sweet. So next turn I can play a Phyrexian Obliterator. Sounds good to me. They play with Flight of Strands. They have no land. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. So, Swords to Plowshares is a problem if they have it. So if they just like another land for extra invoker here, that would just be like the burn. Alright, let's hope they don't have Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, let's play the Mox Jet just to get it out there. I could have played Liliana Veil, but to get rid of Thalia, but I'd rather them have to keep paying for it. They have like something like the Swords Plowshare as a path. They can't pay for Thalia if they want to keep, if they want to be able to get rid of this Phyrexian Obliterator. They need another land if they're going to get rid of it with the Sword or Path. I will do that. Yes. So that's something to be very careful clicking through. Alright, let's begin combat. Let's attack. You gonna block, buddy? You gonna block, buddy? Come on, it's only 5 damage. Just take it. Oh, I'm at 6. I gotta be careful. Oh boy. I mean, I can still race this Thalia. That's not a problem. Alright, so I can race them. So I'm just going to do this. Even if they have another land and a Thalia's Lieutenant, that's only 3 damage to me, which I survive. If they use a Thalia's Lieutenant to block a Phyrexian Obliterator, they're probably just dead. No, not quite. I go on a land here. Him to Tark almost kills them if they have that line. So they'd have to fetch. I would put them to 4. Even blocking with Thalia doesn't do it here. Okay, I go to 2. That's fine. Can't picture they're running Bolt. So we should be 1-1 on against this deck. Unclaimed territory. Alright, what do you got? Okay. Not Path, not Path. Please not Path. I guess Path still gives me the ability to cast Liliana. Kitesail Freebooter does block for 2. I need to land here really bad. I gotta land here, him to Turok kills them. We took the him. Okay. Makes sense. Checks out. So I think we're on the defense now, unfortunately. Don't want to be, but I think we have to be. What we got? Oh, there's a land I needed. Alright. If they attack with Kitesail Freebooter, but not Thalia, we can actually kill them. Thalia is only going to block for... Thalia is only going to block for 1, and Phyrexian Obliterator has trample. Thalia's going to force them to sacrifice 2 permanents because of first strike before damage. So we're actually, I think, if they have land path here, we're dead. If they don't have land path exactly, we're fine. Yep. Yep, okay. So they're dead if they don't have another creature. If they need to block 1 more damage, this trample and kills Thalia. Yes, okay, we got it. Alright, we're going to carefully click through this to make sure I don't screw this up. Alright. Go to combat. Attack into their X1 with a 5/5 trampler when they're at 4. There we go. Awesome. Got it. Alright, so I'm still convinced Underworld Dreams is bad. Infernal Reckoning is awkwardly almost good to hit Revokers, but it seems like Revoker is going to be the only colorless creature, so that's probably not good enough, so I'm not doing that. I think where we're at right now is fine. Black Lotus starts are very good, though. Crap, I shut down my bad 80s music. No Rod's kind of awkward here. DT, which might be okay. I I think we keep this. I feel like we need more fast mana, though. I don't know if we don't have any interaction with creatures, really. We don't have fast mana. I don't know if I can keep this. It's very tempting, but I don't know if I can. My opponent mulliganed. I think I'm just going to keep it. My opponent did mulligan. So they're keeping at 6. We're keeping at 7, which is kind of a loose hand. Mox Jet, okay. Strip mine, alright. Kai'Sil Freebooter is a little annoying, but that's fine. Here implies is going to wasteland them, so their strip mine can't screw their mana. If they don't take top, I might just play wasteland and play top. What do they take? Demonic here? Okay, that makes sense. My hand's pretty much garbage otherwise. Yeah, I'm going to play top out. If they want to strip mine me, I'm actually okay with that, since that was a trade I was going to make anyway. At least this way I have a top in play. If the strip mine goes and I still have swamp in play, I'm happy. If they don't strip mine me, if I just waste them, ooh, Dark Confidant, that's not good. Alright. Mistress Factory is pretty good. Start with a swamp. Let's wasteland that. Let's check and see what we have on top before we do anything further. Not terrible. Mistress Factories can block the creatures. Smallpox can kill their stuff. Okay. So if they end up not playing another land, I might jam that Null Rod next turn. Off Mistress Factory at least. Another Mox. Yeah, we're jamming Null Rod most likely. That's going to be their mana. I can eventually kill this Kai'Sil Freebooter and get a DT for a Tabernacle. Like, we're in pretty good shape. Especially since I have Shrimp Mine on top, so if they do play no land, I can still kill that as well. Another Kai'Sil Freebooter. That's obnoxious. So we can't jam this Null Rod now. Null Rod plus top is awkward, yes. Yeah, they took Null Rod. Makes sense. Okay. Well, let's him to Turok them. Take 2 Thalias. I'll take that. Oh, this is tough. Dark Confidant's a good card. Meddling Mage. That's a good one, too. So I play the Jigsaw Jailer. I can block the Dark Confidant. Kai'Sil Freebooter is still a problem. I have Smallpox on top as well. Yeah, let's see what we got on top coming up. Thought Seizes are not great. So we're definitely going to draw that Smallpox next. Another Kai'Sil Freebooter. Well, we have lands in hand, so we're fine with that. Can't play Meddling Mage anytime soon at all. Yep, Kai'Sil Freebooter is still being annoying. Another Kai'Sil Freebooter being extra annoying. Oh, that's such unfortunate top decks to them as the Kai'Sil Freebooter is running. So that's going to be easy sacrifice for them for Smallpox, which is unfortunate. So I can play this other Mistress Factory, cast a Smallpox. We're going to lose our Jigsaw Jailer, which is fine. I probably could have gotten an attack in, but they would have just taken the Dark Confidant. They would have just blocked the Dark Confidant, so it doesn't really matter. We get rid of the Swamp. Oh, they got rid of the extra Kai'Sil, that's right. So now we have Mistress Factories that can block, or maybe getting some damage. So not coming in with Dark Confidant, which is intelligent enough. It's a Flood Strand we knew about. Veil's not incredible here, but it's something, I guess. Campbell. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's unfortunate. Well, yeah, not good against Campbell. So we're just going to have to keep Mr. Factories back to block, I guess, for now. Yeah, I don't really have any sweeper effects, so I don't know if I can really dig my way out of this. Yeah. Yeah, the Bobs are, yeah, Bob's making it, so I don't think I can come back in this game. I would need to draw Tabernacle turns ago, and then have, like, the Null Rod that they took before I could cast the Null Rod. I think Kitesail Freebooter actually locks that up, right? Let's look at top 3 cards, see if there's something we can draw eventually. No, there isn't. I'm just going to go ahead and scoop. I don't want to die over 3 more turns against Kitesail Freebooters. So now we're 2-2. So unfortunate start. Unfortunate finish so far, but... Yeah, I mean, they had really quick Thalia. They had really quick, you know, game 1 was really quick in their hate bears and whatnot. Game 2 I was able to pull out, even though they had like a Black Lotus start, and then game 3 was just like, Kitesail Freebooters tore apart my hand early, so it was unfortunate, but it's okay. Mulligan, this is a bad hand. This is okay. I can do this. I don't want the second Smallpox for sure. So we're going to start with a Thoughtseize, see what they got going on here. If they force it, that'd be great. What the hell is this? Oh, this is that same person. I think I take the Soul Ring. I don't think I take the Thesaurus. Yeah, I mean, vintage is vintage. Like, sometimes you get hit by vintage. You know, like, to put it, like, you know, bluntly. So, Flood Strand's one of the cards we knew about. They have Tezzeret, Power Blast, 2 more fetches. Ugh. I don't particularly like anything that's going on right now in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and just pass. So, they have 2 unknowns now. They still have 2 unknowns. We know they have Power Blast and Tezzeret at the very least. A good Dark Ritual, Yogg, Dark Writ. Ooh, also Dark Writ Necro. Having this Yogg will to like make up for it later. Oh no, don't tell me you drew the misstep. Oh, you bastard. No. I've been having that happen a lot in Vintage where like there's a few turns where I can't quite do what I want to do. And then by the time I can do it, my opponent draws like the misstep, the force, whatever it is. That's been one of the tough things. It's one of the tough things that I've been dealing with in Vintage. I can't particularly do any of this right now, so we're going to pass. Hey, Dia Rules, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Take care. My opponent has Tezzeret, Power Blast, and 2 unknowns still. Alright, we can try this Necropotence now. Hopefully we don't end up seeing a Mana Drainer or Forcible here. Alright, awesome. We definitely need to find some win conditions off this Necropotence. Well, I lost 4 life on Thoughtseizes. I think taking Soul Ring over Tezzeret earlier was correct, but it might have been correct to just take Tezzeret. What's my opponent doing? Hercule's Recall, bouncing the Mox Jet back to my hand. Okay. That's cute. So I'm going to have to discard a card. I think I'm fine discarding... I think I'm fine discarding the Smallpox. Yeah. So I kind of want to next turn try and jam like a lot of this stuff. I'd like to next turn play Mox Jet. Play land, play Mox Jet. Give me 5 mana. I can Yogg Will. The Dark Ritual, which nets me 2, so I go down to 2, that goes to 4. So I can almost Underworld Dreams and Chains on the same turn. Which I kind of like. Could add a Demonic Tutor in there. A Lotus. I can try DT for Lotus first. See if that works. If that works, then I'm definitely going to go off and just do all this crap. Why not? Let's try it. See if it works out. Alright, 3 black, Yogg will. Lotus. Ritual. I almost feel like grabbing a, I strip my hand, so I almost feel like grabbing a Crucible here is actually better than doing most anything else. So I might just do that. Vamp Tutor. Okay, what do you got? Oh, so they're going to snap Misstep, which is fine. So we know they have Tezzeret, Pyroblast, and they have 1 unknown. With DT, you get Crucible Worlds. Alright. So I can Waste Lock them. Waste Lock or Strip Mine Lock them. So next turn I can play Underworld Dreams, Chains, and Strip Mine, or Wasteland them. I'm just going to Wasteland them. Probably going to start with their red sources. I have 6 mana total, so Tezzeret's going to be potentially an issue. Tezzeret is a problem. I'm not drawing a card per turn, which is also a problem. So I might have to Strip and Wasteland. Hope they don't draw Mana Acceleration. I wanted to play the Chains as well this turn, but I can't really afford to. I have to draw something, so I'm going to Necro a few times. We're going to get 4 more cards of Necro. Okay, so Smallpox answer this Snapcaster Mage. Dark Petition can go and get me Mishra's Factory, which is good. If I win this, I can get my Cricked. Thank you for following me on Twitch. I appreciate it. If I mispronounced your name, apologize. It's a different name than what I'm used to seeing. What you got, buddy? Demonic Tutor. Okay. So if my opponent has another mana source, they can BT for a time lock, put me to 1, which means Smallpox is off the table. Which means I would have to Dark Petition for Liliana, make them sacrifice. Which means I can't continue Waste Lock. If they have an answer for the Dark Petition or Liliana, I can't do anything about that. Okay, Black Lotus. Okay. Oh no, I'm supposed to start with Chains so I can possibly answer that. Okay, that's fine. I guess I just discard top. Since I can get misstepped. Okay, they discard Blightsteel. Discard the Swamp. They Wasteland, waste their Underground Sea. Yeah, so my top is gone, that's fine. Can't play that now, which is okay, I guess. So there's Chains here. So they can cast Tezzeret next turn. Which isn't great for us, but it's nonsense is POX and Vintage. So here's a Tezzeret Seeker. So if I had Wastelanded and Smallpox, that probably would have been better. 0? Okay. Mox Halfire, alright. Makes sense. Guess. I'm just on the Wastelock plan at this point. So chances are next turn I Dark Petition, get a Mistress Factory, so I can start clocking this Tezzeret. Can also just get the rack. So my opponent's just kind of getting artifacts out of our deck right now, like mana, so I'm waste locking them. Seems smart. Let's see if they have an answer for this Dark Petition. No, they don't. Okay. I can't cast the rack this turn, but I think I just have to get the rack anyway. No, the rack doesn't make sense. Another Underworld Dreams isn't terrible. Yeah, I'll get that. Whatever. Cast this. They don't have an answer for this Underworld Dreams. That's 2 a turn they take. I'll pay 1 more life on this. I cannot pay any more life for anything else. It's a swamp. Perfect. Awesome. So excited. Alright, so they're taking 2 a turn when they draw cards, so now they have to really do something. Gifts ungiven, okay. Interesting. So I can't give them a Snapcaster Mage because they can fetch, put Snapcaster Mage in play. They'll go to 2 and I'll go to -1 when they attack me and kill me. Snapcaster Mage is not something I'm giving them. So Grixis Tezzeret Gifts. Interesting. Very interesting. I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I have to look up a deck list for this, check it out, maybe make a few edits to it, and try streaming it, or just play test it for a bit and have some fun. So they used Tezzeret earlier. They used Tezzeret 3 turns in a row because I had a Waste Lock with Crucible on them, Waste or Strip Mine lock with Crucible. They used Tezzeret 2 turns in a row, I think, to get Sapphire then Jet to fix their mana a bit. Put 2 cards in the graveyard. I'm gonna put Repeal, and Force a Little in their graveyard. You can have Time Lock and Mana Drain. I don't care about those cards. You can take the extra turn on the Time Lock. That's fine with me. Just don't have a Snapcaster Mage. That's really all I care about at this point. Snapcaster Mage actually just kills me. Time Lock? Cool, yeah. Take the extra turn. Take 2 more life. You fetch, that's 3. Any other cards you draw just kills you. Flat out. Oh no, this is at 5. I'm so dead. Don't realize it. Don't ultimate Tezzeret. No, I'm so dead. Damn. Tezzeret's pretty good. Alright, like last time, no rods and spyglasses come in. Don't think I need the Phyrexian Obliterators. And Infernal Reckonings, the ultimate Tezzeret is relevant, and it's also relevant against Blightsteel, so I think I'm going to take those in too. I forget when I boarded out last time though. That was a punching army of artifacts, wasn't it? I don't think Smallpoxes are great here. Liliana's probably fine, but I can trim like 1 or 2, I think. Dark Petition and Liliana get trimmed, I believe. So we'll board like that. Infernal Reckoning's going to come in just because of Blightsteel. It's possible Mind Twist is probably just not as good as Liliana. I still got to figure out like proper sideboarding for this deck. So many matchups that I just have no idea. Tabernacle probably could have came out. Um, I'll keep this. I'm gonna try to just vamp tutor for. I'm gonna try and vamp tutor for a necro. Hope I get there. Oh, look at that! It worked. There was one game I actually like vamp tutored and couldn't find. Accidentally clicked right after it popped up the library, and I just got like a random card. Snaring Bridge is actually a card I've considered. Snaring Bridge is definitely a card I've considered, and definitely a card that I would consider adding as well. The only reason I didn't add it is because there's so much. You have to overboard for dredge. You have to so many different cards you have to kind of include. Snaring Bridge is definitely a possibility though. If I did the Ensnaring Bridge, I'd probably add back the 4th Liliana. Let's hope this Necro resolves. We can library into more permission, possibly. We got nothing else going on at the moment, though, so you just have to try it. Awesome, resolved. I like Ensnaring Bridge personally. I've been playing that in my Legacy version of this. I just haven't been playing Legacy version that much. Once I got rid of this Null Rod top and Lotus are pretty awkward. Once I got rid of top and Legacy, I stopped playing POX so much in Legacy because Sensei's Mining Top just gave you so much selection. It was so irrelevant. Goblin Crater Maker, huh? Okay. They can kill my Mox if they want. That's cool. Add some black mana with this. Underworld Dreams. Library draw card, okay. Okay, Chains. Enjoy your library. Drawing your cards. Play this Tabernacle Pendle Veil. Start taxing you on your Crater Maker. Yeah, Bridge is so Bridge is probably one of the matchups that I'm not really sure about, and I had a little bit of top struggle with was Shops. So Bridge could help with that a lot since they're more aggressive than they more have to attack you than anything. So it could be okay. There's also a consideration where Bridge can kind of shut down Oath. I mean, granted, Oath has Oath does have Ancient Grudge, which they mill over and then they just cast for 1 green. So it's it's possible. I'm not sure about Bridge though. I'd have to try it for sure. I would test it. I'm just not 100% positive. I wouldn't ever board in Bridge against the Tezzeret control deck, you know? Because, if they ultimate Tezzeret, I'm probably dead regardless. I don't think Bridge would have saved me. Maybe it would have. I mean, that game it actually would have, because they couldn't just ultimate Tezzeret and kill me. I would have been able to actually, I would have actually been able to do something. I'm fine trading my Mission Factory for this. If they end up just dealing damage to it or destroying it, that's fine. It's basically the same as me blocking and trading. This is not really control those, so if I block, they actually can't just deal damage and trade for it. But this allows me to get my tops in play, which is nice. It also allows me to get my Null Rod in play, which is even better. Orem, you stream? What do you stream in Vintage generally? Do you play Vintage or do you stream other formats? I feel like I've interacted with you before, and I feel like I should know who you are. Wow, they didn't try to destroy my Mission Factory. They just let that happen. That's weird. Okay, I'll take it. That's cool. All the help I can get. I'm so bad at this game. What's that? Time Vault? Oh, shite. Okay, I need this no rod to resolve real bad. Although I guess I have the backup where if it doesn't resolve, I can always use Job Will to get it back, so try it out. Okay. Let's try the Dark Ritual. Okay. Let's try this Yog Will. Got some value here. Why not? Oh, tops are so bad here. I don't know why I'm casting top right now. Are you actually a misstep top? Yes! Misstep top. That's awesome. Now I can cast this Vampiric Tutor. Let's go. Crystal Wheels. Do we have... Oh, we don't have Wasteland yet? That sucks. I already played land, right? Yeah, I did. I have no land in my graveyard. Let's go with... Let's go with Liliana. Why not? Let's cast this. Oh, that was stupid. I can't get the Liliana in play yet because I can't draw cards because my top is dead because my Null Rod. Alright, yeah, okay. That was bad. Oh, jeez. Sometimes I don't play around. Sometimes I don't pay close attention as I probably should. You play more Legacy and you're also messing around Modern. Well, that's cool. I'm not huge in... So I play mostly Legacy. I'm not huge into Modern. I just... A lot of the Modern I played, I just could not... I just can't get into it. Like, the decks in Modern are so friggin' horrible. Targeting themselves with Jace. That makes sense. Since I have Chains in play. Should totally be brainstorming with Jace, though. Oh, Black Lotus is so bad right now. I guess if they answer the Null Rod, which they kind of want to do. Null Rod isn't terrible. Black Lotus won't be terrible, but... Right, nothing I can do here. Well, I can animate this and attack the Jace, I guess. I can also just attack them, which I think is probably correct. I don't think attacking Jace here is correct at all. Spyglass lands for Jace, though. So there's that. So I guess Snapcaster Mage. So I guess Snapcaster Mage Time Walk kind of kills us here. Yeah, so in Modern, the most recent deck I played was Assault Loam. I had a lot of fun with that deck for a long time. I run like the Jund versions. I run like a version with like Dark Confidant, Young Pyromancer, Raven's Crime, Life Loam, Seismic Assault, you know, the usual. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the deck. When I was last time I played it, Blue White and Jeskai Control were pretty big in my local meta, so I had a lot of struggle with the fact that my opponents were. I struggled a lot with the fact that most of my opponents were running fucking recipes, basically, which sucked. But it was a lot of fun. Assault Loam was real fun. But that was like basically the last deck I ran in Modern. I tried Blue Red Gift Storm for a bit, but that was like right after Damping Sphere. I played Blue Red Storm forever, and then I tried the Gift Storm deck after like a year or two off of Modern. And I just didn't... I could not get behind Gift Storm. I don't know what it was, but it was right after Damping Sphere got printed, so kind of makes sense. Come on, Spyglass, we gotta name this Jace. Lightsteel, Repeal, Snapcaster Mage, that's a problem. Alright. Chase the Mind Sculptor. So we'll shut that down. Repeal's non-land, right? Okay, so our Mistress Factory is still live to block a Snapcaster Mage. I can also use my Infernal Reckoning and gain some life with the Mistress Factory if we really get desperate. Play Griselbrand, yeah. I have a friend that plays Griselbrand, or mostly played Griselbrand. Not sure what he's on now, but he plays Griselbrand as a way to, like, say, screw you Modern players. If my opponent just jams Snapcaster Mage here, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Throwing lands at your opponent's face is fun. It's just like sizing Assault Loam. Just Assault Loam, you know? Repeal targeting Spyglass. Okay. If you don't play Snapcaster Mage here, I'm okay with that. They discard the Blightsteel to draw the card off Repeal. They're casting on Snapcaster Mage, which is unfortunate. Okay. Snap Repeal. They're not going to actually repeal, though. Okay. So my opponent has Yoggle we know about. Casting. Oh, you tapped library for the Snapcaster Mage. You're at 6. So, yeah, so I really need my Mistress Factory on blocking duty. I end up trying to destroy Mistress Factory. I can Infernal Reckoning in response. I currently can't use Mistress Factory pump itself is the only problem. So there's that. Casting. 2 black. You make 2 black, 2 blue currently. Or you can fetch and make more blue. Interesting. You should fetch a couple times. Okay. Here comes the Snapcaster Mage at me. 1 to 1. So I can't draw any more cards this game. So there's that. Spyglass, see what they got in hand. We have another Jace. Okay, so we'll name Jace. Jace the Mind Sculptor. There it is. So they can Yogwill repeal, which I'm fine with. Jace ult I'm not worried about because we're not drawing cards anyways, which I think is what you're referring to as well. Yeah, we're pretty much stuck with what we have in play currently. I think they think Snapcaster's Mage is going to go the distance, but we're just going to block with Mistress Factory. So it's potential they could Yogwill. Oh, no, Repeal can't hit a land, so... if they try to kill the Mistress Factory for any other reason, other than just damage, I'm going to Infernal Reckoning it. Okay. So these will trade off. Really would have rather attacked them with Mistress Factory, but because my own Null Rod, I can't pump it itself, so that's unfortunate. Okay. I can't draw cards, so we're just passing at this point. I'd love for them to get that Blightsteel in play. Okay, they're drawing a card, losing life. My opponent currently has 2 unknowns. I can't draw more cards. I don't have a Crucible, so I can't replay lands from my graveyard. So Necropotence has been a little awkward, honestly. There's actually a Time Vault. I'm fine with that. Yogwill can get them back their Snapcaster Mage. Can also get them back their Goblin Crater Maker. I think Snapcaster Mage just makes the most sense. Yeah. Goblin Crater Maker is the one they chose. Okay. So we're just dead now. Unfortunately. So I'm going to play top. My opponent... No, they didn't misstep. Okay. My opponent's better than that. Yeah, we're dead. So my opponent got their revenge. So we had 3 damage away from beating them. Before they attack, I'm just going to activate Necropotence, so I'm not going to give them satisfaction. Alright, so we ended up the league 2-3. Better than my 1-4. That game was super close, so I'm not actually upset about that. Our first loss was Montolio on Dredge. I'm fine with losing it to Montolio on Dredge. If I'm going to lose to anyone, that's a perfect person to lose to. The other match we lost, what the hell was this match again? I wonder what that match was. I already forgot what match that was. Oh yeah, Esper Humans. That's right. So I mean, Esper Humans, like on fast mana starts, like I'm not particularly upset about losing to that. It sucks, but I should be fair against most humans type decks, but I'm not gonna be upset about losing to that. We got to win a game against humans with Phyrexian Obliterators. That was pretty fun and awesome. So this is where the deck is currently. I'll still be making some edits to it, fixing some stuff up. I was testing a one of what's it called, Virulent Plague. So I might bring that back for the Dredge matchup randomly. I don't think Dark Petition's sweet, but I don't think it's good enough. This might just become the fourth Liliana again. Oh, yeah, Orin. Nice timing. We went 2 and 3 in the league with Vintage POX. I lost against Esper Humans with a couple of fast mana hands into Thalios and stuff like that, and like triple Kitesail Freebooter with it was like Kitesail Freebooter, Bob, Kitesail Freebooter, and take your 2 relevant cards with the Kitesails. So that was a tough matchup. That one sucked. It didn't feel good. I probably need some type of sweeper. Not sure what sweeper is good here though. I mean, like sweepers aren't generally something you think of in POX unless it's like Pyroclasm or Fire Spout and Oath. So I might try something like maybe Infest. I could go back to Tox Deluge. Tox Deluge is probably the best, just because you can kind of adjust the life total or the toughness that you're killing. And humans kind of requires that, and as well as shops, because both those decks can kind of pump their creatures. So I'll probably try some number Tox Deluge again. The Dredge matchup, I wasn't winning the way they Montolio with 7 cards post board with they had a by turn 3 he had double Bazaar, double Mana Confluence, and had Nature's Claimed, a Grafdigger's Cage, and a Leyline. You don't if your Dredge opponent keeps 7 and has stuff like that going on, you're not winning that. So I'm not upset about losing that matchup at all. My 2 last practice games against Dredge were pretty good. So I'm not really upset about that. Infernal Reckoning's been kind of cute so far. I haven't played that much against shops, so if I continue not playing much against shops, that Infernal Reckoning will have to go. Infernal Reckoning can become 2 Toxic Deluge, possibly. But Infernal Reckoning is something I would like to continue testing, because if I eventually run into shops, I think I'm going to need it, because I think I generally beat most decks as far as that goes. I don't need sweepers as much as I need like the shops removal. Might consider some of the Ratchet Bombs, since that has overlap from shops to like if there's a deck like humans or whatever running around, like humans has pretty much all 2 mana cards, so Ratchet Bomb can pretty much wipe the board for all the humans cards. Shops again is very heavy 2 mana deck, so having the Ratchet Bomb to blow up like Ravagers, Revokers, Spheres, Thorns, etc. at 2 mana, Steel Overseers. That seems like it might be good too. So Ratchet Bomb might actually just be like good for these 2 slots. Ratchet Bomb can also answer Planeswalkers randomly, which isn't relevant, but it's still worth noting. Dark Petition probably becomes this 4th Liliana again. I'm thinking I might... yeah, the dough. 5 mana, easy. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I am running a Dark Petition, so I clearly am not afraid of 5 mana. How do you raid someone again? I forgot to do that. But yeah, so there's that. So I'm going to call this a night. Thank you very much for came by and checked it out. Follow me on Twitter if you're not following me already. It's at Aaron Xaniga. If you don't follow us at Hipster of the Coast, I've been covering Vintage Super League this year. So I'm the Vintage content creator or manager now for Hipster of the Coast. So I'll be covering all of Vintage Super League for as long as I'm writing for hipsters and have this title. So check out Hipster Coast if you want to catch up on Vintage Super League. I've been writing deck lists and recaps every week. We've been having like fantasy drafts and stuff. So you can pick like the top cards you think that'll do well that week. You can also pick for players. Usually, I don't know if that's exactly what we're doing now. Shit, sorry. Next week we start the. Oh, thanks, Oren. I appreciate it. Next week we start the playoffs for VSL, so be sure to check that out. Tuesday it's 9 p.m. EST or 6 p.m. C whatever the fucking California and Seattle is. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll give my best to Katie. If you miss any of the video and whatnot, and you want to go back and look at it, the VODs will be available on Twitch and then on YouTube with the same name, Aaron Xanaga. I upload all the raw video. I don't do any editing, so enjoy the swearing, enjoy the tired yawning and burping and stuff. But I appreciate you all stopping by, and I hope you all enjoy. If you like Death and Taxes and you are familiar with Phil Gallagher, I'm going to raid Phil Gallagher's stream, who just started streaming. Just got to remember how to raid on Twitch. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the raid now. If you don't want to continue watching, if you don't want to watch Death and Taxes for the win, do not stay. Apparently I can't spell. Death and Taxes for the win. Death and Taxes win. Alright. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy. If you check out his stream, he's really good. He's an amazing player. He's an amazing contract creator, so enjoy. Have you all yourself a good night. Thank you, Card Hoarder.
For those of you just turning in now, hi, my name is Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, and we're just finishing up the deck tech on Maverick, and we're about to jump into some matches. One final thing I want to add here, this is not my deck list. This is D. Neely's most recent 5-0 deck list. He actually donated in order to go and, I don't want to say bribe, but I was in sort of one of our high-end grinder legacy chats, and I was like, hey guys, what do I play tonight? And Tin Fins was being tossed about, and then he came in and said, hey, give you 6 ticks if you play Maverick. And, well, let's be honest, this is like a Thalia Palace Jailer Chalice of the Void deck that also gets sweet cards like Choke. It didn't take a lot of convincing to get me to want to play this. So, let's go ahead and hop into the league and see how this feels. Is over here. We're coming off of a 4-0 that really should have been a 5-0 with the TET, the Epic Thief deck. Let's see. What do we talk about what we're going to do this time? So I started playing Octopath Traveler for the Switch. That game is pretty cool. But I guess we'll talk about that while I'm queuing next time around. I was having a debate the other day. If you have the choice of Noble or Green Sun Zenith or Dryad Arbor, which do you take? Let me think about that. Let's talk about that once I've kind of gone through the mulligan. This is a mulligan. This doesn't breathe now. This is also a very bad hand, unfortunately for us. Like, we only can produce a colorless mana here. And if we scry a green source to the top, we kind of still have, like, 2 mana producers. I really don't like to go to 5, but this is probably a time where it's correct, too. Okay. All things considered, this is a good recovery. We'll put the cradle on top. We get to go land mom. And then hopefully we'll get to like play like mom and like I'm not going to get cheeky and mom attack, because if my Dryad Arbor were to get bolted or something like that, I would be a sad panda. Alright, so we're probably playing against either lands or full color loam. Probably lands. This is going to be a Tabernacle, try to get me. That's awfully what it feels like. Yeah. So the good news is that Tabernacle by itself will pay for whatever creatures I keep.